Hello you guys, welcome back to another video on this here channel. Today, as you can read by the title, is none other than another story time for your week. I made a video about 3 weeks ago about a weird boy mom that I encountered in my dating life, and that was like while I was dating this man. This lady that I'm about to tell a story about, I almost forgot about her because she was seemingly normal when I was with her son, but things started to take a turn after we broke up, and I can't believe I've never told this story. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Though this story is new to my channel, this character is not. If you guys have been watching my videos, especially in like my first year, like a year ago, I would tell stories about my high school ex, my first boyfriend ever, that 3 monther. Right? So in high school, I had my first boyfriend senior year. How we got together was really unique. I don't know about you guys's families, but my family, I'm not even gonna say my family, my mom does not play. Like, she's like, doesn't think you need dating, doesn't think anything. She's very girl power, be smart, blah blah. So I never even thought I would have a boyfriend in high school, to be honest. Like, my brother and sister never dated in high school. I was the only one who ever like dated in high school, at least to my knowledge. But I'm pretty sure I know them well. How I met this boy was senior year. He transferred to my school. I always say, y'all, like, I'm destined. I'm always with the boy that like nobody knows is from someplace different. Like, literally, my first boyfriend was a transfer, and then when I'm out in my adult world, it's always never someone like in my city, maybe in the county, or maybe in the county, but is from somewhere. Like, I feel like I'm just always with some boy like that. But I kind of like that because, okay, you're not all like known, right? So he transferred to my school. But before this, unironically, I knew his family. And like I said, because my mom didn't play, this is why I feel like I was able to date him, right? So in high school, I had an injury during basketball, and like before senior year, maybe 2 years before senior year. And my mom found this place. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like a gym where you can just like go in and work out. It's more of like this gym, but it's like you have to train in a session or in a group. And it's for like old people or people recovering from injuries, like physical therapy type stuff. It was a small black owned business, which is huge in my area, because if you guys don't know, I grew up PWI. So my mom found this cool business, they're black owned. She started going, and I started going for my injury. So what is crazy and so unique about this boy I started dating my senior year, I knew his family before I knew him because his parents owned that business. So I used to go there for my injury. My mom used to go there for certain stuff. So my mom knew his parents and stuff. And I remember, like, I probably stopped going. I probably went maybe sophomore to junior year. Like I said, senior year is when I started. And sometimes the more you get older, black moms be like, you text them when you're making an appointment. They start making you do things. So I had his mom's number. I had maybe seen him around or like trained with him once, but he was almost never there. I really just knew and trained, like his parents used to train me. But I remember I had his parents' number because I went there, and sometimes my mom would tell me to text them when I wanted to go in or when I wanted my next session. And I remember one day she texted me, or she was telling me about the session and saying, like, my son's actually going to transfer to your school next year. Like, here's his number. Like, could you text him or like just like introduce yourself? Which I remember, like, I was so social butterfly back then. I was like, sure, yeah, but like now that I look back at it, and even when my mom said that, she's like, that's weird. She's like, why she didn't just give him your number? Like, why you gotta reach out? Like, my mom doesn't play. But anyways, I was like, yeah, sure. So I texted him. I was like, hi, I'm Alicia. Like, I go to your parents' thing, and your mom gave me your number, said you're coming to my school. Like, I think we talked briefly about what school he came to, but like it was a short conversation. Like, I don't even know. It gave like my mom didn't tell me she was giving out my number. It was awkward. But I was like, Whatever. I didn't care. I had no shame. Social anxiety was scared of me back then. Fast forward, senior year of high school begins. I end up having a class with this man. Like I said, the interaction in text was so awkward. I thought, okay, that was it. Like he'll probably just be here. I'll see him around. I ended up having a class with him. I had photography with him. It's so funny when some people I still know from that class watch my videos. They always know who I'm talking about. We had photography class together, which also I did not expect to have a class with this man because I was a senior, he was a junior, he was a grade below me. So I was like, it's not like I'm gonna have the same history. Like if I was gonna have something with him, it was gonna be like an elective, which boom, it was. Because in high school, the grades don't always mix. It depends on certain circumstances, but for electives, it definitely can. So I have photography with this man. We actually literally coincidentally get sat close to each other, and we literally start talking and becoming friends. And like I said, I grew up PWI, and the options of black people and cute black men at that were limited. And I started being his friend, and I started wanting that. And literally, like, we were friends, then we were flirting, and I never thought we were dating. We weren't even dating. Um, I used to hang out with him and stuff. And then we ended up going to homecoming together, and then he ended up asking me to be his girlfriend. And he was my first boyfriend, but I was definitely not his first. He was Mr. Came from a Christian school, God first, but God was really last. If he knew, well, the way you move it. No, that's not even any shade, like, because I'm not religious or anything. This man literally told me about the crazy that would happen at his Christian school. Like, kids being wild, outrageous, all these things. So, anyway, I ended up dating this man for like 3 months. I have stories, y'all. He cheated using my phone. Cassie from Euphoria stole my man. I use that as a little acronym, y'all. Go watch those story times in the story time playlist. It'll all make sense. And right before COVID, actually, because I was class of 2020, I ended up dumping him because I wasn't feeling it anymore. Literally, I dumped him in February. Y'all know we went on lockdown in March. If you want to know the details of the relationship, I'm telling y'all, go watch those story times. It wasn't positive, but also, like I said, social anxiety was scared of me back then when I was 16, 17. So that was my first relationship. I wasn't in love. We didn't connect we didn't like do anything like that. It was very like high school, a couple dates out of high school, hanging out during lunch. And that was it. Like, I don't know how teens be acting these days. Well, I know they're acting like that during my days too, but I'm pretty sure I've reiterated before, you guys. I was super innocent in high school. I never drank, I never smoked. um I didn't have my first kiss till junior year, and all I did was like, I've we broke up because I didn't like the things that he was doing, and I didn't think he was a good boyfriend, and I didn't lose any sleep about it. I was so cold hearted in high school. That's the way it ended. Now, how does this story time relate to his mom, you ask? So I'm gonna give a rundown on his mom before I get to the whole point of this story. The first offense, and then the whole thing the story's about. So honestly, because I already knew his mom, um, from going and like kind of getting physical therapy from his parents' business, it was cool. Like, honestly, his mom was really nice to me before I started dating him. She was really nice and happy when I started dating him, both of his parents. Um, and yeah, I felt like it was all good. Like, he had a family Christmas party. I went to that. It wasn't that scary because I already knew his parents. But the thing is, like, now that I'm a grown up, I look back at his mom and I think about how there was like some stuff that was like definitely weird. Like, she would talk the way I told you, I probably saw their son once before he went to my school. He was never there when I was like training. She would talk about him all the time, which makes sense. He was the baby of the family. But y'all, some of the stuff she would say is just like, I remember at his old school, like, she would talk about like who he was trying to date and blah blah blah. And she was just real petty. She was just a real petty, guys. Like, she was literally showing me pictures of these girls and talking about how like he's asking them to homecoming and the formal, and like she would just always talk, and she would tell, like she would literally show me these girls and like tell me they looked a mess. Like she was just like, it's kind of funny, but like when I'm an adult, I'm like, it's kind of bad to be like talking about kids like that. But like at the same time, she is a boy mom. Like, so there's little instances like that where I look back and I'm like, that's kind of messy for an adult to be talking that way. But again, she was super nice to me, so I didn't think anything of it. And especially, like I said, while we were dating. Y'all know PWI. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I grew up in a predominantly white city, school. Black people were a scarcity. She was. I feel like his parents were very happy for him to be dating me too, because I was the first black girl he was like ever with. Which I get it. I get it. They was happy, and at the same time, they knew me, so they knew it was like a good thing. Um, being someone's first black girlfriend. Even from black men, it could be rough. Some of the stuff I seen in that phone, y'all. Some, but like I said, just watch the other stories to find out about that. But anyway, besides that, there was one other thing about his mom. My mom thought that, their business was cool. Like she would like to support a black owned business. Like I said, she did some training there and I did too. But I remember like over the year, like the more and more we knew them better, I'm just a kid. So I just see like adults being nice to me and, talking to me and whatever. But I remember my mom, especially when we started dating, when I started dating their son, I remember she clearly, and she kind of stopped going to them around the time or a little bit after we started dating too. My mom was not feeling their parents, especially the mom. Like she was just saying they like gave her a weird vibe, just some of the conversations she's had with them. She was like my mom just started feeling like our personalities just don't clash. Like my mom just got a weird vibe from the parents. But of course, I'm just like, well, well. All right, now on to the post breakup stuff. So I remember when I was dating him, like I said, I was a senior. So I was looking at schools and stuff. My dream school, y'all, was a school in LA. I really, really, really wanted to go to Cal State Northridge because, as you can see, I'm into media, I'm into entertainment. That was my dream school back then. I would always talk to him about it because I was a senior. So I was applying and all that. He still had another year because although we were only a month apart, he was a grade below me. So yeah, literally everyone knew that I really, really wanted to go to that school. And I didn't get in. I didn't get in. So that really sucked. I think by the time I got rejected, yeah, by the time I got rejected, me and him weren't together anymore. Um, so that's an important piece of the story. I ended up going to another school, but I told everybody that was my dream school. The whole damn photography class probably knew about that. Remember that. So when we broke up, this man, like I said, I feel bad sometimes when I look back at harsh Scorpio teen Alicia because she was ruthless. Like I said, I didn't lose any sleep over that breakup. I was like, I don't like what you're doing. I'm done with you. It's hard to see the frame when I paint the picture. Like that's literally how I was. But this guy, he was definitely hurt. Like the day after I broke up with him, he acted like he didn't care the first day. Then the next day, I got like this long paragraph on Snapchat talking about how he's sorry and he'll change everything. But one thing about me is, babe, when I made my mind up, it's up. So I felt bad because I knew he was sad. Like I didn't have like no heart. Um, and I remember the day after, I was like, we can talk after school, but like, I'm set on my decision. Like, I was over it. And so, yeah, we had a long talk, like, about everything. And again, it hurt again, because again, y'all, I was so clueless and like not in touch with my emotions back then. Because, like I said, I wasn't his first relationship, but he was mine. That, like, I didn't understand, like, how deep it cut him more than me, because it sucked having that conversation because he thought that like it might be a conversation to get back together, but in my like closure is closure for me. It ain't what y'all be making it out to be. Like I literally like I think he thought we were talking about it with potential, but I was just talking about it with closure. I remember like he was shedding tears and stuff. I gave him a hug. I thought that was the end of it. And again, y'all, I wasn't emotionally attached to this man, so I still followed him and everything after the breakup. I was like, we're still in photography. We still have like the same friend group in photography. But after the breakup, he didn't want to talk to me and he just acted like I didn't existed, which I understand. That's how some people have to heal. And that's how I would have to heal if I was in a relationship, any of the adult relationships that I've been in, I still had to be around that person. Because now I know when you love someone and all that, it's very hard. So I felt for him at first. And then we unfollowed each other eventually. Like I said, it was COVID. And then again, y'all, watch the story time. Cassie from before he stole my man. He cheated on my phone. Bro, during COVID, he literally started dating my friend. Like they just launched on the media. My friend from basketball.
Hold on. That's too fast, mama.
So yeah, I was like, oh yeah, now I really don't give a fuck about making you sad. Yeah, we had unfollowed each other. I unfollowed the girl. That's the whole story. But y'all, like I said, the man and the things I peeped and the reason I don't want to be with him, it doesn't stop just because you're not with him. Like I said, this man all of a sudden started dating my teammate who was my friend. Good for you guys. Fuck you guys. When he was dating her, um, he stalked the out of me. Like he was the way he dogged that girl out, karma bitch. The way he dogged her out, bro. Like I said, I was a senior. So now I'm in college with a new boyfriend and literally probably maybe 6 months until I blocked him, he would watch my story every other day, spam my page, unspam it, follow me, unfollow me, follow me. He would do that all while he was in a relationship with another girl. I would literally talk to my friends who were still in high school, talking about how he's always still talking about me and talking about how he don't even want to be in the relationship with the girl. I'm like, that's crazy. Like I said, I'm in a whole other relationship. So eventually I blocked him, and that was the end of that because I was tired of all that. And now that's some post breakup content. Now, this is the first offense. So, I think that after me and my family stopped going to his family's business and we broke up and stuff, I think I just like deleted everyone's number. Probably when I was mad, when I saw he was dating my friend. Anyway, so yeah, I remember one day a number texted me. We're gonna give his mom the name Pam. And she was like, "Hi, Alicia. It's Pam, blah blah blah's mom." And she was like, he's getting ready to apply for colleges and stuff. And I wanted to ask you if you ended up going to Cal State Northridge. And I'm like, this is weird. Again, I'm like, I dated your son like a year ago. I haven't spoken to you. My family stopped going to your business. And like I said, also, he's the youngest out of like four, five, and all his brothers went to college. So I'm just like, I don't know. Like I said, I get like nervous about people after I stop messing with them because what is your motive? But I was still super nice. I was like, no, I didn't end up going to Cal State, Northridge, whatever. And then she was just fishing for more information, like, oh, well, where do you go now? Like, how's, and I just like left her on red because, like I said, I don't know, like the Scorpio vibes is like you. That was a weird conversation, but again, that's not the worst of it. It weirded me out, but I was like, whatever. I'm not answering questions because, like I said, your son is kind of scaring me. Like before I blocked him, I'm like, he's stalking me and unfollowing me and like doing all this crazy stuff on my page. So I'm like, I don't want to tell you like where I'm at and what school I'm at because your son's creeping me out. Anyway, maybe a couple months after that, why does my cousin who's still in high school tell me he posted or someone saw that he posted his college that he is going to, and it was Cal State Northridge. We were both super creeped out because I'm like, everybody in the school, everybody in the damn class, all of our friends knew that's where Alicia wanted to go. Like, right? And my ex was not into media or anything else like that. And like I said, this man is stalking me. I'm like, so I'm not trying to say like, but you never know. Like it creeped me out. How I was like, why is he going to my dream school that he had no interest in when we were dating? Weird. And his mama was trying to ask where I was at. Weird, 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 weird. Whatever. Like I said, he's blocked. I ignored his mom in the follow up questions. I thought it was over. Now, guys, We are, like I said, I broke up with him right before lockdown 2020. We are in summer 2021, guys. If you're from Southern California, if you know, you know. Me and my cousins and my family randomly that summer when all the parks and stuff were back open, we went to Knott's Berry Farm for 4th of July, right? I'm at 4th of July with my mom, dad, my cousins. It's really fun. We did a whole, like, we went to the water park and we went to Knott's Berry Farm. And I'm like sitting in line for a ride and I get a notification on my phone. All I see is a bunch of unrecognized numbers that I don't know. Like I don't none of them have names. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, when you're in line, if you're not talking or you're exhausted, everybody's just on their phone. So I'm like, okay. So I open the chat. Why do I still don't recognize any numbers? And I just see random responses like, oh, get it, girl. Like, this was so fun. Ha 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 ha. I'm so confused. Like, it seems like it's like women, but I'm like, I don't recognize any of these numbers. And then I scroll up and I see that they're all responding to like one video. And I click on the video. It's bad quality, but I'm trying to make it out. Guys, yo, yeah. Why is the video of Pam, my ex's mom, just dancing, getting down, getting into it at what looks like a cookout, which makes sense because it's 4th of July. Y'all know black people, we don't give about about the country and the flag. It's a cookout. It's a cookout day. And I'm just like, okay. Mind you, the last time this lady messaged me was like 6 months ago. So I'm like, I think it's her. It's really bad quality. And I just text in the group chat. I'm like, who is this? Like, who are you? Why am I in this? Um, and literally someone responds and was like, oh, like, didn't, what are we gonna call my ex? This was so weird, guys. It was so weird. We're gonna call my ex Arrow. That's what we called him in other stories. They're like, oh, like you used to, aren't you like Arrow's girlfriend or some last girlfriend or again a random number I don't know. Like that's the only one who responds to me. Everybody else is still just responding to the video. Was it an accident? Was it? I'm like still waiting because I'm like, obviously, if his mom is in this video and someone knows who I am, I'm like, obviously, this is his mom put me in it, right? I'm like, was it an accident? Was it on purpose? If it was on purpose, what was the purpose? So, like I said, my mom was already talking about this lady. So I'm literally like, Mom, like, look at this. I show her the group chat. I show her the video. I'm like, isn't that Pam? And she's like, yeah, that's her. And she's just looking through it. And we're both just like, this is so weird. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, I never thought about if it could be an accident. But y'all, I waited in that group chat and I literally asked, who are these people? Only one person responded. And everybody else is just responding to each other. So I'm like, she didn't even acknowledge. Nobody was like, "Oh, this was an accident." Someone in the chat knew who I was, so I was personally put in there. What? So at this point, I'm really annoyed because, like I said, your son is like harassing, not directly harassing me, but like bothering my page when I have him unblocked and like finding little ways to peep me. And I was like, it's just so annoying. So I literally was just like, I told my mom, I was like, should I just like call and make sure it's like her? Just call like the main number who sent the video and see if it's her. Because I'm like, what's going on? And she was like, yeah, just do it. So again, I'm at Knott's Berry Farm, his whole app. I just literally call, someone answers immediately and is like, hello. And it's Pam's voice. And then they're like, hello. I just look at my mom. I just hung up. I blocked the number and I deleted the group chat. What was that? Guys, this situation was so weird. I don't know how I was just able to think of it now in May when this was 4 years ago. Like, what? Guys, I know when you saw that story time, you did not think it would be this. What was that? What was that? Like I said, besides the weird boy mom story I told a couple weeks ago, I'm like, every relationship, including that one I've been in, the family, the women have always loved me down to a T. And like I said, she was really nice to me. She was never mean to me. But I was like, that was just so strange. Why was she talking to me and put me in a group? Like, I'm like, did she still want me with her son? It was just still, to this day, I don't know. To this day, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, guys, that was the story time. Let me know your thoughts. Seriously, if you could have guessed that, I know you couldn't have what you thought this story time was gonna be. Like, what the actual was that? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys for all the love on this channel. Woo woo! We keep growing over 1,000. Thank you for the love on my new Instagram. Check out my socials, link down below. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this story time, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.